Welcome to The Pulse. We're back again, as we are each and every week. And I don't want to run it into the ground when I say I'm excited, but I'm legit excited. So the person we have as a guest today, everybody knows him. You know about the things he's doing. He's in the media for a lot of different reasons. Has 3 sons. I'm going to give it 3 who are pros, NBA. And the CEO, founder, Big Baller Brand, Mr. LaVar Ball joins us on The Pulse today. How are you, sir?
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be here.
Appreciate you doing it. Right before we got started, I was talking to you about the fact that rumors started circulating. The Hornets fired their coach.
Right.
And the rumors come out that you're in line to be the coach. And people bought into it.
Why wouldn't they? Right. They know I can coach. This is so easy. You just got to get the best out of your players, and I'm very good at that. Man. Everybody be like, oh, but LaVar ain't coached in the NBA. Boy, it's not that hard to coach. Y'all act like this stuff is hard. If you're going to play offense and you're going to be very fast, you got to push that ball. You got to run every single time. But if you don't know if you're going to play fast or slow or see, the mentality that a lot of people have is when they get in front and you're up by 20 points in the second half, the mentality is, hey, they can't beat us. They can't come back. So let's slow down and go by possession.
You're hurting my nerve.
You have to do 20 possessions to catch us. See, that's not the mentality of my boys and when they're all together. The mentality is if we up 20, shoot, by the third quarter, we better be up 30.
You're hurting my heart right now, sir. You're hurting my heart because I'm in Philly. And the Sixers have struggled with that put them away mentality.
Yes, because you got to be thinking, here's the you be thinking, well, I'm up. But why would you slow down if that's what got you up playing fast and smart? Let's stay the same way no matter what. And if I ever coached in the goddamn pros, they have a new thing coming. And you know what it would be? I'd be the only guy to press, and they wouldn't be ready for it.
We start the Pulse always asking guests, particularly people who have done as many things as you've done.
Right.
Everybody out there has tried to define you one way or another. Everybody in the media. How do you define yourself?
How do I define myself?
Yes.
One of the coldest suckers on 2 feet. Ain't but 2 people better than me, and I'm both of them.
Okay. Were you always this guy? I mean, we know about you in the public light. Was this always you even before the public started knowing about you?
Before all that, they just put them cameras in front of our face, but I ain't changed. I've always been the same. That's what folks don't get. They say, man, I'm catching him a different way sometime. No, you're not. I'm like this all the time. So, and what's wrong with it? It's just me.
Well, but you know but it's interesting you say that, because when we first started learning about you publicly, that the whole what's wrong with it, there were a lot of people who had a lot of opinions about the, in quotes, pressure you were putting on these young guys, on your children. Now, however many years later, you got 2 top 3 picks. You got another who, if we're being honest, probably should be in the NBA right now.
He's going to be in the NBA. It's just he had to take a different route on the fact that when you do something differently, here's the thing. Jello did something different, so he got to take a different route. Now, if he would have did the same thing, I probably wouldn't be in the place that I'm in. What I mean by that is everything would be completely different if it wasn't for Jello taking him glasses, because then I don't take him out of school. Then I don't go overseas. Then I don't get no water. I don't do a lot of other things without Jello doing something bad. So we had to take some step backwards for me to shoot forward. Why to understand and make the JBA to say, you know what? Ain't gonna be no JBA if Lonzo one and done. Jello don't steal nothing. He one and done. Melo go to UCLA. He one and done. I don't worry about nobody else. I don't worry about the brand too much. I'm just let my boys get their money and we go like that. As opposed to me turning into this guy now who has a brand, who's not selling his brand and going forward with other things. So this is, I'm just getting started. This is what folks don't understand.
Because we've seen the videos, we've seen the TV show, the Facebook show, and Melo particularly was involved really young. Like he was playing with his older brothers really young. Even then, you were talking about you got 3 NBA stars.
Right.
What made
I
you
told my
think
boys from day one for me picking my wife. That's what people don't understand. I didn't go get me a little shorty. I got me a stallion. 6'1", I'm gonna have some basketball players. And it's not like she a volleyball player. She played basketball. So she got the same, same values that I have. She could sit in the gym all day and not be like, oh, I gotta go hang out with the girls. I'm tired of doing this. You gotta do this for 19 years. And I ain't had to tell her, like, that's a foul. Why is he taking the ball out? Well, why didn't he make a three-pointer? She know the game. So I ain't got to explain it to her like that. Even she was the only girl in the AAU that was my assistant coach. It was husband and wife for a long time. So Melo getting knocked down, Tina was, and you got to have a perfect woman to do this because she's a mother. And if Melo is, 6, 7 years old, playing against sixth graders, and they knock him down, most mothers be like, oh, don't hurt my baby. Tina was like, and being a white lady, get your up. That type of thing. Never babied them. So we never had no where, let's say they lose one game, and my boy Lonzo would have triple-double, Jello would have 30 points, Melo had 20 points, and we lose. And I'd be like, Melo, you didn't do your job. You only had 20. We need you to have 24. Jello, we need you to have 40. Lonzo, we need you to have 50 rebounds. And she was never like, well, you guys did a good job. Your dad is just mad. She was like, man, you should have passed that ball. We would have won that on that pass. So we give it to him from both sides, but it's never like lopsided where I'm on him hard and then she softened him up like you guys did. You scored all the points. You did everything you could. She never was like that. She was always on my side.
Early on, there were some who thought it was overbearing. It was crazy. Has that image changed? Has stopped having to answer those questions now that people can sit back and see the results?
I never had to answer those questions because when you look at it, the way my boys is in the NBA, I took out that element, which was so-called pressure. And let me explain it to you like this. Where does your talent come from? Your talent comes from the hood, comes from the ghetto. Okay. You don't go to Beverly Hills or Thousand Oaks or to a high-ranked district and be like, man, I'm trying to get me a hell of an athlete. Think about it. All these heck of athletes come, even from Magic Johnson to Derrick Rose to anybody. They was in poverty or needed something. So now you got this 18, 19-year-old kid and you telling them, yo, I need you to make it to the NBA because you can carry our family. We in Chino Hills with swimming pools. They driving to school with Cadillacs and Escalades. They not wanting nothing. So for me to give them that mentality, I took that away where it was like, son, I don't need you to put us on your back and get us out of Chino Hills or no swimming pools and all. We already good. But I lived in Chino Hills, but I got a South Central mentality. That's what my boys have. So they like camouflage. They play very hard. Yeah. But it's hard to get somebody who got so much and really make them be like some killers. I got 3 killers. They all get together, it's going to be a wrap.
Next on The Pulse, LaVar Ball explains how he taught his kids what real pressure is all about.
Pressure is not playing a sport, son, making a free throw, doing this. That's nothing. The pressure is coming home and they say you don't live here no more. Turning on the lights, you got to find your next meal. That's pressure. Welcome back to The Pulse. Having a lot of fun today talking to the man, the myth, the legend, maybe in his own mind, LaVar Ball. I feel like people, myself included, have to stop saying that your goals, your ideas are crazy because you keep saying them and they keep happening. So you're still confident that at some point these 3 guys are going to be playing together. Check this out. How did LeBron get to play with D. Wade and Chris Bosh? After everybody's contract is up, everybody can make their mind up now. Like, I'm going to go play with this guy. I'm going to go play with that guy. I just got to wait. Melo got to finish that rookie contract. Lonzo got to finish his other contract, and guess what? So these next couple of years, after this, you better watch out. Guaranteed. You took the pressure off of your 3 sons. Is some of this like this, and you said you've always been this guy, the kind of over-the-top personality. Is some of that because people were spending so much time talking about you, they just got to play. They got to work hard. They still had to answer a lot of questions, but they got to go and do their thing. But the questions are not going to be hard. They're not going to be hard to answer the questions if you know what I'm about. You ain't got nothing to lie about. Just say exactly what you feel and how your dad is. And that's how I've been. Coming from South Central, I'm not going to be quiet. We loud out there. We win a game, get your ass off the court. Who got next? That's how we roll. We've always been loud like this, man. Playing dominoes, Monopoly, anything. We loud.
So you put that toughness in your sons to carry through.
Just like I was telling them about pressure. I say pressure is not playing a sport, son, making a free throw, doing this. That's nothing. The pressure is coming home and they say you don't live here no more, or turning on the lights, or you got to find your next meal. That's pressure.
A Big Baller Brand, aside from everything that it is as a company, was one of the first times that somebody stepped out and said, I'm not going to sit there and give away all this money to one of the big sneaker companies. We'll do it ourselves. Right. The concept of people who are out there putting in all the work, also finding some level of compensation. These battles are things that you took on before, and a lot of them are now continuing on. Now college athletes are making money on their own image. Like now people are going out there producing their own shows and not having to pay somebody else. So again, I go back to, crazy or crazy like a fox. Like, were you doing this before, other people started?
Hey, as you talking to the guy who made these suckers go out here and change all this stuff. But it seems hard to say. You can't even put your head around it and be like, I'm talking to this guy right here, LaVar. He's the guy who made the G League. Better get some more money, or I create my own league and go across the waters. When I was going to 18 different countries, they say, who told him he can do this? Nike, Adidas, nobody. I put triple B's on them uniforms and go across the water and put USA on there. Nobody gave me the okay to do that. I did it on my own. That goddamn USA is a public domain. We from the USA. Why would we put the USA on there? So folks is like, who told him to go over there and do it? That's how Melo get worldwide known and Jello. Going to 18 different countries. That's why I say my boys is the face of the NBA, or the fact that they've been all over the world. St. Petersburg, take them to Russia, Lithuania, Shanghai, take them to all these places I've already been. And you say Triple B's or the Ball Boys, they already know. These guys ain't been around the world like that. That's why this brand is so goddamn strong.
They told you when you took Melo overseas, and he was playing overseas, Melo and Jello, playing overseas, you're ruining his chances to be drafted. Yeah, he's not going to go the regular course. He's never going to be one of those high-level picks if you take him overseas playing against that level of competition. Right. And then he's a top 3 pick.
Man, come on.
Do you enjoy all this? The people who are the haters, the people who push back.
I'm not even worried about what the haters are saying or what they're doing, because I'm going to keep going forward doing what I'm doing. At the end of the day, you're going to look back and be like, man, that boy was cold. I'm the only one to take my guy overseas, take an American overseas, 16 years old. That's why Melo coming to the NBA, people in awe. But you have to understand, he's been a pro since he's been 16. But why all these other guys that be in Spain, like Luka and all these other guys, start on these pro teams at 14 years old? First of all, to go over to another country, you got to have somebody speak the language, and you got to have that blue book. A lot of people ain't got that blue book, which is that passport. If you're coming from the hood, you think you're going to have a passport and all this stuff to be like, I'm going over there. I go over there with a brand so that Melo can be known. I do the JBA tour so they can be known. Facebook and made Melo so famous and all this. Everybody know about my boys before they even get there. Facebook was 6 seasons. That's like a 6-year commercial.
And all of this was the plan.
And all this. And we're going to do some other stuff too, man. It's just, I'm going to restructure it where the narrative is going to change. It's not going to be, Melo making jokes and all this. It's going to be the Ball family. It's a new thing. It's going to be called the Ball era. But it's going to show a black man and his family sticking together, building an empire.
Up next, spending some time with LaVar Ball as he tries to define what true wealth should mean to his family.
You know what they tell me, LaVar? You cost your boys the bag. I said, you might cost them the bag. Because if it's in the bag, it ain't enough, idiot.
Welcome back to The Pulse. Let's keep the conversation going because who knows what our guest today is going to say next. Let's get back to LaVar Ball. The Ball family sticking together, building an empire. With all of, again, the real or imagined or created controversies. What we do see from time to time, I remember the video online when Melo showed up at one of your events. And even you got emotional. I remember seeing the types of things that demonstrate that the family is together, even as people try to question that.
Here's the thing. When you get into this situation where money's getting involved, And that's why I had to regroup with my boys to let them understand a few things. And I'm making them understand this. As individuals, Jello's a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, Alonzo's a millionaire. But if you want to be a billionaire, you got to be a family. The Waltons, who own all the Walmarts, they're a family. They're billionaires. The Spielbergs, the Cubans, whoever. If you own something and you got family, them the ones that's billionaires. Magic and these other guys and Denzel, they by themselves. Kobe by themselves. They 500, 600 million, but they ain't gonna never be no billionaires because they don't own nothing and they're not the family. So I'm telling my boys, in order to be billionaires, we gotta be together to be billionaires. In basketball, they have a thing what they call a super max deal.
Yeah.
And that make people do backflips. So what is usually a super max deal? What do you think a super max deal is?
It depends. I mean, it's like 40s. It depends on when you start. So it can get as high as like close to 50 million.
Okay. For how many years? So total would be, you say, about
like 200, right? Yeah.
Okay. That's what they want us to stop at. Supermax is 300 million. So that's why, whoa, 300 million, got the black story, did it. They tell you it's a Supermax, so that's as much as you ever gonna make, and it's gonna go down from there. So your thing is tapped out. But how does this billion-dollar industry, the NBA, make billions every year? That's to show you how low that is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking way higher than that. I can't think millions. That's why I tell them B stand for. I can stop right now and be cool. I got my boys in the NBA doing their thing. We make some money. I got the brand. We good. I can stop right now and just chill. But that ain't the point. I told them B stand for billion, billion, billion now. You know what they tell me? LaVar, you know you cost your boys the bag. I said, you matter cost them the bag. Because if it's in the bag, it ain't enough, idiot. I want to put the stuff in the bag. Put the bag in the truck. How about we load that truck up? So you want the bag to bring the truck up. That's what we want.
Families watching this who don't have professional athletes in the family, or at least don't have them yet, what do you hope they get from your message? Inspire the rest of the people.
If you bring them into this world and you don't give them no let's say, athletic skill or talent, send them to school. Give them some education. You got to give them one or the other. You got to either teach them a trade, doing something that they love to do, or you put them in school to say, you know what, I just want you to be able to take care of yourself. When you have kids, you want to care for them, but you also want to make sure that they solid after you leave this earth. If you understand that, you don't have to have a guy say, you know what, you got to be a millionaire. But if he got his own condo or his own apartment, doing something that he love to do, staying out of trouble and living and having a good time, that's all you want for your kids. Let's say you get $10 million. You're going to go out and buy the best house you think you got because you ain't never had. Going to buy the best car you never had. But after you finish buying the best car and the best house and the jewelry, what are you going to do next? You done bought everything you wanted. What are you going to do next? You better have a passion to do something. And let's say you have a passion to do something and you're doing it. Okay. At the end of the day, you have to help one person, 10 people, 100 people, 10,000 people. You got to help somebody do something. That's the bottom line.
Next up, everybody has an opinion, including LaVar Ball. So his thoughts on the Ben Simmons drama.
He came out early, was like, I ain't playing for them no more. They don't like me, and then you lose all this money anyway. That's just dumb. You should have just played and did whatever you was going to do without being a big mouth. Don't do that yet. Don't say what you ain't doing.
I'm done doubting the stuff that you say was going to happen. I will go ahead. They're not going to play back my reel when I said it's not going to happen when it happens. Right. So I'm done doing that. For Philly fans, what are you, as a father and somebody who put together and helped mold young people, you see the Ben Simmons situation. Do you even have a take on that, or are you leaving that one alone?
You give a guy, sometimes you give him so much money, and then if you're not playing and you still getting paid, you develop something where it's not the love of the game no more. He came out early, was like, I ain't playing for them no more. They don't like me, and then you lose all this money anyway. That's just dumb. You should have just played and did whatever you was going to do without being a big mouth. Don't do that yet. Don't say what you ain't doing.
You get the last words, sir.
Just believe in it. I mean, you got to be built for this. Some things might take a week to build. Some things might take a year. Some things might make 10 years. Everybody look at my boys and see them all in NBA players, but they don't understand the 18, 19 years of straight work. But it wasn't work because everybody like, LaVar, you made so many sacrifices. I ain't made no sacrifices. I had so much fun doing it. And I don't push my kids. They say you push them so good. If I got to push you, that means resistance. I'm going to lead you. That means you behind me. You can turn off anytime you don't think this thing is going right. Turn and go do something else. But if I've been telling you since you've been a baby, your last name is Ball and you're born to go pro, what you going to believe?
Listen, man, the Sixers need some shooters. So
tell them to holler at my boy. I send Jello over there. I send him to Detroit. They didn't know what to do with him. Had him in the Charlotte G League. They don't know what to do with him. Philadelphia make the move. Get the big baller. Middle son. Shooter. Do what he wants. Oh, at a small price.
Okay, so that was fun. Thank you so much for watching The Pulse today with LaVar Ball. He's a character. He's got a lot of stories, but if people say he's crazy, I guess as we established, he's crazy like a fox because a lot of his plan, it continues to work. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And remember that you can hear the entire interview all places where podcasts are available. Go ahead, download and subscribe. And remember, we'll be back to do it again all same time next week. Until then, whenever possible, use your voice for good and have a good one.